So, I sweep almost every day, and I I kind of find household things like that, chores, to be good for kind of, I don't know if it's meditating. Your mind just kind of goes, and you just kind of pay attention. And something came to mind, like someone was saying I should apologize, and and I wondered who that might be and what that might be about. And yeah, here's what I want to say. When a person thinks that and they don't, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It is not hard to say I'm sorry and to say that sincerely. But when a person doesn't have it in them to say it, then of course it's hard. And I mean, when a person doesn't have it in them, they don't mean it. So I should apologize. I mean, maybe a person has done so many things that they feel like they can't. You know, uh, I'm trying to understand because it's easy. So I don't think there's anything easier than apologizing and meaning it. But again, when someone has done real bad harm or someone has continuously done harm again and again, then apologizing, I mean, I don't know. And, I don't tend to think in terms of ego and whatnot. I don't really care for that word. I think it's confusing. All that crap is confusing. Ego and super ego, Freud, I mean, there's a whole lot that's just kind of like, let's make this up and yada, no. Everyone thinks that way too, but is that real, or is it just kind of an idea that, we're using? And yeah, well, ego, what is that? I mean, maybe arrogance or something like that. Something in that sort of realm is a better word for when a person thinks too much of themselves, and um, I mean, if psychologists want to talk about ego and ego defenses and the way it's good to be careful enough to not attack a person's ego defenses, well, where that gets into some what I want to describe as mind fuckery. All right, so an abuse. So it's really abuse when there's a person living their life. It's better to not try to harm that person, and that can be verbally, that can be in many different ways. It's not a good idea. When you think about ideas like ego, I mean, humans have been around for much longer than those ideas. And, I mean, humanity lasted this long, even though humanity is doing a pretty good job working to extinguish itself. So, along with those ideas, that came along after, industrialization, there's things going on that are harming people. And yeah, well, um, again, it coming to mind, someone saying I should apologize, and I'm sure it's no one I'm speaking to. If somebody listens, I'm sure it's not you. But I just think about that. What prevents a person from doing that? And it's a real easy thing to do. It's a real easy thing to do and to mean it. Um, as far as not doing the behavior again, sometimes that might be kind of challenging. If it's, it shouldn't be. But, I think if dynamics between two people are not as healthy as they could be, then a person apologizing but then kind of falling into that behavior again, that, a person might have to sort of watch out for that. And I think about abuse and an abusive relationship, and a person might say they're sorry sometimes with a whole lot of drama. And I mean, that's just a tantrum. That's a form of tantrum. Um, when a person can't identify a tantrum when they see it, I wonder if that person might also be prone to tantrums. They tend to be pretty easy to identify, I think. But anyhow, yeah. So I just thought I'd talk about that for a minute. When someone thinks I should apologize, well, what I would want to say to a person that thinks that is, why don't you? because that person might not be there tomorrow. That person might not even be there later today. You know, yeah, digital devices and all that fast stuff. Well, I mean, I mean, that gets kind of absurd, but really, but thinking about when a person waits and waits and waits, really, they might not have the opportunity to apologize. And then, and then I guess that's just more load for that person, more tantrum material, So I think some of what I'm talking about could be about emotional maturity, actually, interpersonal maturity, and some things like that. But yeah, I should apologize. Well, me, when I think that, I mean, do I think that? When I know I should apologize, I do. Sometimes it might take me a while to see that I need to, um, saying I'm sorry all the time. I think about my ex. I don't think we said I'm sorry all the time. We said thank you and I love you. And well, it ended real badly. But yeah, so, I do think about when people are always apologizing to each other, and that's kind of nervous like behavior, I think. And um I mean, people should try to have more confidence than that, I think. But anyhow, yeah, well, just a few words.